Another episode of Triple SL. Today, I'm your host, Ethan, and today's topic is the NFL Draft Recap. Roll the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Triple SL. I'm your host, Ethan. I have
Hunter Morring.
Sal.
Evan.
You're just Sal.
just
Sal.
Sal.
Just Sal.
Just Sal.
We're gonna get straight into a controversial topic that happened this past weekend with Shedeur Sanders. There was a few people last time we did the show before the draft that said Shedeur Sanders was a guaranteed first round pick, right? I was the only one that said that he would possibly fall. I said second round. He fell to the fifth. Maybe he fell a little bit further than he should have. But I said that he was going to fall. Everyone said that I was stupid for even saying that. If we could roll the clip, please.
There's a lot of rumors that Shedeur Sanders falls to the second.
I wish you can see it.
Whoa.
No. Because if you think about it, Cam Ward
That's
and
a-
Shedeur
that's
Sanders,
that
listen.
is-
Yo, give me back my paper, bro. Let me throw that at him.
Throw
the football at him.
Compare this year's
Wear this.
quarterback.
This is the shame hat.
That's
a terrible
You
hat.
had a terrible take with the freaking quarterback sneak thing.
That was not a good. That was. I had
That was a
information.
horrible-
back
what
it
were you
up.
even talking about? Like,
I had information back it up.
No, listen. You compare this year's draft class
Wear that
to the
right now.
past five. No, I'm not gonna wear it. You didn't wear it for the sneak topic.
Okay, enough with the hat, guys.
So as you can see, I was the only one right about it.
Wow.
And all
That
these-
was before
all these other people
we
up
had
here-
information
All these other people up here
About
Listen,
his, knowing his
listen.
interviews
Okay.
and his rap song. What was his song
Perfect
called?
timing.
Perfect timing.
Clearly, it wasn't perfect timing, okay?
You
I
know,
was the only one that said anything about this, and everyone said I was going to be wrong, okay? Especially you, Sal.
Dude.
You said there was no chance,
The
no
Saints.
chance he was going to fall.
Are you kidding?
Guaranteed first-round pick.
Because the Giants, they needed a QB. The Saints, how do you not pick Shedeur Sanders? You picked Tyler Show, a Louisville QB,
We gonna get
before
there.
him.
We gonna get there. We gonna talk about that.
We won't talk about
We
too
gonna
much,
talk about
but
it.
that's coming up. But still, there were
Yeah,
so many
there's-
teams that needed QBs,
Yeah.
and they just didn't pick
get,
them.
They didn't get one.
There were so many QBs that were taken before him.
That shouldn't have been taken before him. In my opinion, Shedeur Sanders was like top 5 quarterbacks in terms of talent, and like you said, Tyler Shuck was taken ahead of him, bro. Like I said, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later, but like, there's no reason that should have happened. Like, that's crazy.
All right, now we're gonna start off with the beginning of the draft with the number 1 overall pick. If you want to start us off, Hunter.
I mean, obviously, not much to talk about. It was like the consensus number 1 pick. Everyone pretty much knew what it was going to be. Quarterback out of Florida, Cam Ward. Pretty much, I mean, most talented player in the draft besides Travis Hunter. Had to put that out there. Besides Travis Hunter, I think Tennessee, they got their
I think
future
he's the
star.
most talented quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
for
about
sure.
player.
He went to Miami.
Did I say Florida? Oh, snap, I said Florida.
That's all right.
He went to Miami.
No,
actually.
It's in Miami, University of Miami.
Close enough, you know. It's in the
It's
state.
the state, yeah.
Close.
Okay.
Probably the
close
most
enough.
obvious pick of the entire draft was
Yeah.
Titans going
Yes,
Cam Ward.
yes.
There were a lot of surprises, though. There was a lot of picks that I didn't expect to happen.
It was like
Yeah.
mixed.
I
Did you
felt
see
like there was a
the-
lot of people that fell.
First 4 were easily like kind of just like set in
yeah,
stone
no,
where they
but-
were going, no matter what.
Yeah.
Did you see though that the Titans they unretired their number 1 jersey for Cam Ward?
Oh, really?
I did not.
Warren Moon, the
Oh.
legendary
That is
quarterback
crazy.
for the
Yeah.
Houston Oilers.
Bro, we
back
don't
in
even
the
know how
day.
good Cam Ward's gonna be.
Yeah.
Exactly, they're unretiring, like their best player
Yeah,
ever.
Warren Moon, he signed off on it, but Warren Moon, he gave his jersey number to Cam Ward, so
That's
Cam
crazy.
Ward will
They
be
must
rocking
really
the number
believe
1.
in him.
Yeah, Cam Ward will be rocking the number 1.
If they don't make the playoffs this year.
It was
I
so-
don't know if they'll make the playoffs.
It was just set stone with Cam Ward, especially when he goes on to Fortnite and say his top 5 wide receivers are Calvin Ridley and Traylon Burks. I mean, come
Calvin
on.
Ridley used to be like that.
Okay, yeah, but you put 2 Tennessee Titans wide receivers in your top
Top
5 wide
five
receivers.
receiver, though.
And Tajay Spears, I think, was like.
He said he was in top 5.
I mean, come on, dude. You can't be that obvious with your like picks. so,
We're gonna,
so funny.
we're gonna move on to the second overall pick.
Trade alert.
Yeah,
Trade
alert.
alert.
The Cleveland Browns were on the clock, and they traded back with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, according
How could you, bro?
to some rumors, this trade was like in the works for months, and the trade details were.
Yeah, what, Sal, you can read this. What does this say, Sal?
So the Jags got a 2nd overall pick, a 4th rounder, and a 6th rounder, and the Browns got the 5th overall pick and other picks added.
I felt like this was a lot for the Jags to give up, but I mean, you can look at it as
Travis
getting,
Hunter.
You have the
you
talent
can
of
look
Travis
at it as
Hunter.
getting 2
here's
players.
the
I don't
thing.
think that's really
Yeah,
how this
speaking-
works, but you know.
Here's the thing, though. If Travis Hunter, say he could play both sides, if he only ends up being like a top 15 wide receiver, like a top 25 DB, would it be worth it though? Like if they traded up for only a guy that's only like a top 5, because he could play both sides.
That's like useful, but I feel like top 25 at both isn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
not
If
worth it,
they
you know?
really they need him to be that guy in order for this trade up to
Like
be
if
worth
he
it.
was a top 10 receiver, top 10 corner, both sides
That's
of the
what I'm
ball.
saying.
Yeah.
They need him to play both sides, because if he only plays wide receiver and he's only mid at best,
He's also the first player in history to be top 3 in projections for Rookie of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Sorry.
He's number 3 for both.
He's
Yeah.
gonna win MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year,
all
Defensive
right.
Rookie of the
All
Year.
right.
He's gonna win the Super
He's gonna
Bowl.
win Coach of the Year. He's gonna coach the team. He's winning all of it.
I thought Prime Time was going to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, your offensive coordinator of the year, Travis Hunter.
It should, yeah. Just give Travis Hunter the keys to the whole thing.
Do you guys think that they'll let him play both sides of the ball? You think?
Yeah,
they'll
no,
make
Yeah,
They've
they
already
already
said,
said-
yeah.
He
What
said-
I
he said if he-
personally think should happen is he's full-time defense and he goes in on packages for offense.
I
No.
think it should be the
I
other
think
way
it's
around.
I think it's the other way around.
You
I
think
they
other
need
way
a good-
around?
They need a good receiver.
Yeah,
They
so
need
I
a good
think
receiver. They
that-
have no.
No, they have Brian Thomas Jr.
No,
Yeah.
they have, listen,
Yeah.
no, Brian Thomas Jr. He had a really good rookie year last season.
I feel like it should be
Yeah.
situational. If it's like 3rd down, he's always in there.
That's just what I think. I think on an obvious passing down on defense, I think that's when Travis Hunter should be in. I think Travis Hunter should be main offense, and then like on an obvious passing down when you know the offense is going to pass the ball on a 3rd down, that's when Travis Hunter should come in on defense.
I do think he can be consistent at both, but I feel
Oh,
like
for
that's
sure, but
tough.
that's way too
It's
much on
hard,
the
you
ends.
know.
Yeah, like I don't really understand why he's so dead set on playing
Money.
both sides of the ball. I mean,
Money.
Yeah, money.
That money, if he
Money,
if
and he
can
wants
play
to
both
prove people
sides,
wrong, probably too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the money is going to be insane when he has a contract.
He literally said like he won't play football if he can't play both sides
Yeah,
of the ball.
no.
It's just
And
crazy.
I have a feeling
but
the Browns, that's probably why they passed on him. I don't think the Browns were willing to
Well,
let him.
the Browns got 2 first-round picks out of it, essentially.
I
Obviously,
mean, I'm sure the
Yeah,
Browns are
they got
okay
a
with it,
first rounder next
but,
year too.
I mean, the Browns probably weren't willing to let him play both sides of the ball.
Probably.
It's probably had something to do with them passing up on him.
So now moving on to the number 3 overall pick, the New York Giants selecting Abdul Carter. That's we
That
all
was
knew
the
that.
Expected.
That
yeah,
was-
that's.
I
That's
was a
the
little
best pick.
surprised. I'm not gonna lie.
Who do you think they were gonna
No,
take?
I thought Shedeur Sanders was in play. I knew that, they were mocked.
that's-
I knew that Abdul Carter was mocked to them, and I know that they're gonna have a crazy pass rush duo now with Brian Burns, Kayvon
Thibodeau.
yes.
Yep.
And now
Dexter
Abdul
Lawrence.
Carter. Yes, I completely forgot the
Yeah.
best
Dexy.
Yes.
Dexter Lawrence
Yes,
in the
I
middle
completely
too,
forgot
yeah.
Dexter Lawrence, yes, in the middle. Their
That
D
def-
line is gonna
oh,
be
yeah.
crazy.
That
I'm not
is a
gonna lie.
scary
That's a scary
team.
defensive
Yeah,
line.
that's.
Yeah, I like their
I mean,
pick.
it is a little surprising they didn't go Shedeur, but they did sign famous Jameis Winston. You know,
Yeah, they got Russell Wilson
Wilson.
too.
They
Yeah,
have,
Russell
they have the
Wilson
most
as
insane
well.
quarterback room in the
You
You know,
entire.
I don't know
Tommy
about that.
DeVito
The
as
Browns are
well.
up there, man.
Yeah, the Browns. I think
They have
it's real
5
neck and neck
quarterbacks.
with the Giants and the
You
Browns.
know,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but I mean, with a team like that, they're probably looking to next year's quarterback class.
Archie Manning and them.
Yeah,
I don't think
Well,
Arch.
no, wait, no.
I thought Arch Manning says he.
He's not.
It's not confirmed.
He's
yeah.
not next year. I don't think he
It's iffy.
will. But
So moving on, Sal, you should do this
The
one.
New England Patriots select Will Campbell, a tackle from LSU.
Yeah, dude, high five. That awesome. I'm
oh,
so
dude,
happy for you.
T-Rex on.
All right, bro.
Here's the
I'm
thing,
so
I
happy
think
for you, man.
People, no, justice for my dog Will Campbell. They clowning on him for his T-Rex arms.
He will fight and die for
Exactly.
his team.
Did you,
He
if y'all
did say
see
that.
what he said after he got drafted, he said that he will fight and die to protect Drake May. I think
That just shows commitment for
that
the
is what I'm,
team.
yes.
That was a great pick by New England.
As a Bills fan, I admit it was the smart pick. I personally think he might be a better guard than a tackle because of the short arms. You know,
Dude, he was
but
Maybe, but
He
he's
loved
always
like
gonna
one
be-
sack his
he's
whole
always-
college career.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Moving
A
on.
sack a game, man. You're gonna be working at Amazon. He said.
Moving on to the Cleveland Browns. Now with the 5th overall pick, they selected Mason Graham. This is probably
That's okay.
Nah.
no.
See,
Listen.
they have the worst offense like ever. Why are you still picking?
They just signed Myles Garrett, one of
Here's
the best defensive player.
That
in the NFL.
defensive line, depending on how Mason Graham, I was reading the evaluations on Mason Graham. He's not, I believe he's not a complete pass rusher fully. He's better at rushing, stopping the run, I believe. But I like the pick. If it works out, with Myles Garrett, they can only.
That's a pretty good defensive line.
That's,
you know?
yeah, it's
you
good.
need to help. Myles Garrett can't be the whole defense.
That's
you know?
what I'm saying. They can only double
So-
team the guy. Open up lanes for him. I like the pick. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's this great D line, but what about the other side of it? There's a whole other part of football. Like
I mean, if they can't, if you
They're
stop,
probably not focusing on that part this year.
If you
know?
can stop
Which I
them from
don't.
scoring, all you need to do is,
oh, we got Joe Flacco
Number
and
1
Kenny
ranked
Pickett,
defense,
we're
number
fine.
32 ranked offense.
Yeah, they're the Bengals. They're the new Bengals, I guess.
it's all good. It's all good.
But reverse.
Yeah. Moving on to the 6th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders selected Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty.
In
That was
my
a valid
opinion,
pick.
this was probably the last player that was expected to go. Like
Yeah.
after this, I felt like it kind of went very unpredictable. So I feel like this
For
was, the last guy that went that people were expecting to go this high.
It's a good pick. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
don't
they
have
needed a
back.
running back. They literally needed a running
They
back.
don't
and
look
they
horrible.
got
The Raiders
They don't
look
look horrible.
good.
The
Actually.
Raiders look. Yeah, they look shockingly good. They got that new coach. They're like.
They got
Geno
Pete
Smith.
Carroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll is not
Man, you
some
got
coach. Pete Carroll
Yeah.
is a Super Bowl
You, know,
winning head coach.
you got a solid
Yeah.
quarterback, Geno
Geno
Smith.
Smith,
a
Jacoby
good
Myers, he's
Jacob-
okay.
Yeah,
Brock
Brock
Bowers.
Bowers, one of the
They got
best
Brock
tight
Bowers.
ends, if not the best tight end
People
in
forget
football.
that before they drafted Brock Bowers, they also drafted
Michael
Michael
Mayer.
Mayer in the first round. They completely have 2 tight ends.
That's why I felt like they weren't gonna go Bowers last year.
That's what I'm saying. I was
so-
surprised when they went with another tight
But
end.
Bowers, no offense to Michael Mayer.
No, Brock Bowers is
Yeah,
1,000
Brock
times
Bowers is-
better.
Yeah.
But Michael Mayer is still that
He's
guy.
a solid young tight end.
They,
you know?
they didn't use him as much last year, but I think that they should really unlock
There are
something.
teams that could be a tight end one. That could be like their tight
Yeah.
end.
Brock, yeah.
You know, offensive line could use some help, and their defense is probably not the best, but they're looking way better than last year. That's for sure.
The Raiders are good.
So moving on to the New York. Oh, you want to do that one?
New York Jets. Oh God. Armand Membao is an offensive lineman out of Missouri at the 7th pick.
No, I like that one.
He was good.
I didn't.
was
I
good.
don't. Yeah, I
Because
don't watch
they
college.
they need
They need offensive line.
They
you
need
know?
to protect.
Yeah,
They need to
no.
protect Justin Fields now.
It's funny. They went from a old quarterback who can't move at all to probably one of the best dual threat quarterbacks there is.
I mean, Justin Fields is yet to really prove that he could still be that guy.
But I mean, he's
think-
not that old. He's still young.
Yeah, he
he's
is.
still
He's
got
still
time.
pretty young.
I think the Jets is where he's going to be for a while from here on out.
We'll
I don't think he's going to
Yeah.
move.
As a Bills fan, don't like that they got Justin Fields. You know, them getting an offensive lineman. I mean, I don't care. I mean, we sack the Jets quarterbacks a lot anyway, so I don't think it matters. If you want to do the next one.
I was just gonna put it back in the
Oh,
tank.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, all right. Oh, I'm doing the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I really liked this pick for
yeah.
the Panthers right here. With the 8th pick, the Panthers selected Arizona wide receiver Teteroa McMillan. He
yes.
said he didn't like the name Ted, so I'll respect his bro's wishes.
There. Sorry, Dallas fans.
Yeah, Teteroa McMillan, a wide receiver out of Arizona. I really like this pick for Bryce Young, another weapon for him.
Yeah, they really thought they were going to go defense because they got Xavier Legette last year, but Bryce Young needs all the help he can get.
Yeah,
you know?
and they
is,
just
so-
signed.
He
they
can't
just
see
signed
over his
Chris-
own.
Yeah, he's like an inch and a half taller than me, which is pretty sad. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every year I pick like a sleeper team that I think is gonna very sneakily make the playoffs or just have a really good run. Panthers are
Oh,
it
yeah.
this year.
100
I love the
I like
Panthers
that
this
pick.
year.
They've
They
got
look
four
so
the
good.
Cardinals were mine last year. They
Cardinals.
didn't make the playoffs, but
Yeah,
they
they
did
did,
pretty.
they did all right.
Listen, they went 8-9, right?
They didn't. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
People
you know,
thought they were gonna be horrible. You know,
Yeah.
they were like a couple games out of the playoffs.
see that the Panthers, they signed Hunter Renfrow too now?
Yeah, that was like
Yeah,
He's
they got
an underrated guy, though.
Xavier Legette, Adam Thielen, Hunter Renfrow, and now they got Tedorow and McMillan. That's a good four.
I like
wide
McMillan
receivers.
and Legette. They can really, I think they can be a really good duo.
I think Bryce Young can win like most improved player of the year.
Honestly,
Comeback player of the year?
Comeback player.
Yeah.
He's so underrated. I think like anytime I watch a Panthers game last season, I was like, wow, oh my God, that guy is
His
he is
O-line
serious.
Just does him,
The Atlanta
his
game,
O-line
week
does him
18,
no-
that game, he threw 5 touchdowns, dude.
Oh my
Won a
God.
game in overtime. Like
Yes,
that was.
dude. Bryce Young is.
I mean, they almost beat the Chiefs at the end of the year. I forget what other teams they
did.
played at the end of the year, but they were like 1 score away from winning like 4 games there.
Yeah.
Almost the Cowboys, I think, too, but that doesn't really say much, I guess. Going on to the number 9 overall pick, the New Orleans Saints selected another offensive lineman, Kelvin Banks.
Not Shadir Sanders. you
This
know?
one
I
surprising.
thought
This
Shadur
is-
was going to go here if
That's
he
where
was
Shadur
going to
was-
go in the
This
first
is where
round.
Shadur Sanders' watch ended for me. After the Saints, I was really like,
I was
where
like, I
could
knew
Shadur
it.
Sanders
Just
go?
wait till this happens because I knew he was not going to get picked in the first round right when he
You didn't
got
think
past the
the
Saints.
Steelers? They had-
I think
No.
I didn't
I was
think
really
the Steelers.
thinking the Steelers.
I actually didn't
I
think
think
they were.
just the Steelers. I knew that the Steelers have been waiting and are still waiting on Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
to make up his mind. Shadur Sanders. I didn't think that was an option at all.
Don't worry, they'll still be 9-8 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
They got to keep Mike Tomlin's streak.
They got Will Campbell. Or Will Howard, I mean. Will Howard.
Bro, saying the wrong name.
I mean,
Or lost.
Smart,
Will Howard.
smart move by the Saints getting all line. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Next pick.
This
what
one
are the
surprised
Bears
me. Yeah,
doing?
this one surprised- I think that they were banking on Ashton Genty to still be available at number 10. I think they really wanted Ashton Genty to be
Yeah.
available. I think if Ashton Genty could have went to the Bears, that would have been the.
That would have been good
That
for
would've
them.
been
We
crazy.
got,
I mean, I like the tight end, but they had. I
Cole
like
Kmet.
Cole Kmet, man.
Yeah, I
I
mean-
like Cole Kmet, and I don't know why they. And honestly, I thought Tyler Warren might have been better than Loveland.
Yeah, Colton.
I like Tyler Warren.
Yeah, why would the
Yeah.
Bears draft
I don't know. I don't
Loveland?
think that Tyler Warren was a good fit for the Bears, though. I think.
Okay.
I think that we'll talk about it in a little bit, but Tyler Warren's fit with the Colts. I like that better than
Fair,
the Bears.
but I don't think that was a smart move by the Bears.
Another season going 5-11 with Caleb Williams getting
No,
sacked every 10
Bears-
seconds.
No, the Bears.
I
will
don't
be-
know.
the
I
Bears-
say this every year, though, man. I'm like, the Bears got better this
I
year.
have no hope.
I
for
say the
Bears.
same thing because they do.
No, they've
On
strongly
paper,
improved
they
their
do.
offensive line.
You know,
I
But
think it's just the
they did do
organization.
that.
I
Their
think they
offensive
just
line
suck.
is way better this year.
The Packers.
I mean, they
still
got
own
Joe
them.
Brady. Oh, sorry, not Joe Brady. Sorry, that's
Joe Brady did
wrong
not
one.
leave us.
Wrong one. Ben Johnson. Sorry.
Dude, the
they got Ben
Lions,
Johnson.
lost a lot of
They
people.
did.
Yeah.
I think the Bears will be way better with Ben Johnson as their OC. So, moving on to the number 11 overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers select defensive lineman Michael Williams.
I have no information about this man except that he's a D lineman at Georgia, so I know his career is going to be great.
I seen some film on him when they showed it.
Not bad.
He looks good. You know,
They
they're
need
losing.
nothing to write
They're
home
going to
about,
be.
really.
They already lost players, and they're probably going to keep losing players throughout the year. So they have to get younger if they want to stay in that Super Bowl window.
I think the window's closed.
The
window's
Niners-
closed on
Pretty much.
The
but,
Niners,
you know,
like,
yeah.
Lost
They-
Debo, Christian McCaffrey. He might be gone soon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
George Kittle is.
I mean,
He
they cut.
resigned.
Mid.
old.
He's
He's getting old.
Fair.
cut
I
a
still
lot of
like George
players,
Kittle.
though.
I still think George Kittle's
Brandon
good, but he's
Ayuk's
getting
coming
old.
off of an ACL.
Brandon Ayuk's gonna
injury.
get traded. Dude, he was like, he's gone. He's about to be gone.
Yeah.
You think? You
They lost Leonard Floyd, who's a really solid defensive lineman. So,
You know,
I miss him on the Bears.
the window's closed for
Yeah.
the Niners, sadly.
so moving on to the
Ah,
number
the
12
Cowboys.
overall
What do we have to
pick,
say about
the
them?
Dallas Cowboys.
I like this pick.
Tyler Booker?
They got the Great Wall of Tyler.
No,
They got
yeah.
Three
Y'all-
Tylers on
Yeah,
the
they got
line.
3 Tylers on their offensive line. I really like that.
I would say it's a smart pick because Zach Martin retired and
Yeah, it's
their
his
offensive
favorite
line's
person.
young and in a couple years they could have a really good offensive line. But besides CeeDee Lamb, what receivers do they have? Like nobody.
Yeah.
You know, they could have gotten.
Brandon
a
Cooks.
good
Brandon Cooks,
receiver.
yeah,
He's
still
on
on
the
the squad.
Saints.
No, Turpin. What's his name?
Devontae Turpin. Yeah.
He's a he's more of a kick returner.
Kavontae Turpin is a fast. When he was getting the opportunity
fast,
to
but-
get the ball, no. Kavontae Turpin,
I
he
get
had a
it,
couple
but,
of
like-
receiving touchdowns too.
Like, I don't think that's good enough, especially if you could have gotten someone at that
Oh,
point.
for sure, for sure.
I mean, even a running back too. I mean, maybe not that high because Genty was gone, but I felt like they could have done a little bit better. But I think it was a smart pick because Zach Martin retired. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
This pick made me mad right here.
Oh yeah,
As a
me
Bills
too.
fan,
Me too.
I was
Me
I was
too.
really mad.
I wanted him
to,
too,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wanted him to come to the Bills. With the 13th pick, the Dolphins selected D lineman Kenneth Grant
Yeah.
out of Michigan.
He went higher than I thought.
Yeah, I did not think he was going to go anywhere in the top 15.
He was like well, personally, I thought he was like the second best D tackle, but people had him as like third or fourth, and that's why I had him going to the Bills. But then he went 13th, and I was like, wow, that was like, he was gone way faster than I thought. Good pick by Miami. They really just had to go best available because their roster is.
Yeah, they needed a replacement for oh my goodness, what was that
Calais
dude's name?
Campbell.
Calais Campbell, yes, and oh my gosh, what's the other dude's name? Oh
There
my
ain't too many
goodness.
good defensive
position?
linemen on
D
there.
tackle, dude. Oh my gosh, the dude's name. He just went
Christian
to the Raiders.
Wilkins?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Christian Wilkins.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was.
They need to
he was
replace
really
him
good
for
too.
him. Yeah.
I'm mad because I think Kenneth Grant's really good. So
Yeah, he's
hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully Miami's development, sucks and he doesn't become anything.
Yeah.
But I
Hopefully
really
he's
was
too
upset
fat
about
to
that.
run in the Miami Heat. So,
It's pretty hot down in
yeah,
Miami,
it's crazy. Man.
With the number 14th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts selected Tyler Warren, tight
Perfect
end
fit.
out of Penn State. This
I think,
was
yeah, that's a-
this was a really good pick by them. Perfect value.
That's who
I
they
thought.
wanted.
That's who they wanted. They needed a tight end. Having a good tight end like that, I think will help Anthony
Y'all are tripping.
Richardson.
They got Mo Alley Cox on the squad. That's
I was
goated.
thinking about it.
Mo Alley Cox is goaded.
Bro,
I
he's
don't know what you're
old,
talking
bro.
about,
He's
bro.
old.
He sells me in Madden all the time, bro. I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
justice for Mo Alley Cox.
Nah, bro. I need someone else to throw to. I throw to my tight end, drops the ball every time.
Okay, back to top.
Okay.
My bad.
Good pick by the Colts. though.
Yeah, I like it. I think he'll be very productive year one. I like the squad that they got. Still, is Anthony Richardson the QB?
I think he is QB1.
I think so. I
I
don't
think
think.
this
I
is-
doubt they're gonna start Daniel
It's him or
Jones.
Daniel Jones.
This is
Oh, I
probably
forgot- dude, I forgot.
Richardson's. Me too. I forgot he went
That's
there.
crazy.
I think this is Richardson's prove it year, kind of. If he doesn't show any signs of improvement after
They're
this
going
year,
somewhere else.
I don't know.
It's
then.
it's a make it or break it.
Wait, didn't the Colts get a QB from the draft? I thought,
Maybe late rounds.
I thought
Yeah.
they did.
Paper. It's a lot of paper.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We gotta keep the first round out.
Oh,
Move on to the Falcons.
Well, while he searches for that, I'll move on to the next pick. With the 15th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons selected Jalen Walker, defensive end out of Georgia. A lot of Georgia players being taken here.
Georgia will always be like one of the top schools.
I actually did know about him, and obviously I didn't think he was going to fall to the Bills. I don't think they would have went defensive end first round anyways, but I would have liked him to. I really liked him. It's a good pick for Atlanta. They needed defense.
Yeah,
So
I liked the pick too. They needed the edge help badly.
Yeah.
They signed Leonard Floyd in free agency.
Oh, did they?
Yes,
That's a
they
good
did.
pick.
That
That's
is
a good
pickup
pickup.
for them.
Yeah.
When they traded, did they trade for Matthew Judon or they signed him last season?
They traded for him last year, I thought.
Yeah, Matthew Judon did
He's
literally nothing when he got onto
showing
the
his age.
Good. That's
now.
what you get for leaving the Patriots.
Matthew Judon was a flop on the Falcons, and I believe he's gone now.
I think he's out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's on the team anymore. But they needed the edge help, and they addressed the position, getting Jalen Walker and signing Leonard Floyd. I like the way that the Atlanta Falcons are looking this season.
Yeah.
They look good.
I mean, is this their first defensive pick in the first round in like 5 years?
It's been a decent.
It
amount.
feels.
like
I
that. Yeah,
feel.
something
I feel
like
like that
that.
might be a thing.
Yeah, they went Kyle Pitts.
Michael Penix.
Drake London.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So
Riley
moving-
Leonard, by the way, was drafted by the Colts. The
There you go.
Notre Dame QB.
Moving on to the 16th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals
that's such a
selected
cold
defensive
pick, too.
tackle Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. I really liked Walter Nolan. He's a defensive tackle I wanted the Bills to get, but he was like probably one of the best defensive tackles in the draft, or projected at least. I don't think it's a bad pick for by Arizona.
No, they needed the D-line help too. A lot of teams needed the D-line. This
a
was
lot
an
of-
extremely D-line heavy draft.
It's a
Yes.
very defense. It was a very defensive
Yeah,
draft.
defense. Yes, for sure.
Especially
the
a
first-
D tackle, especially.
Yeah.
It's a lot of those
A lot of
guys were
big fat
taken.
men.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Moving on to the 17th overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Shamar Stewart, defensive end out of Texas A&M.
Why are you shaking your head?
Okay, this is a good pick. This was a good pick for them. But
they
the rest
needed
of the
those.
draft was terrible for them.
Okay, yeah, dude.
The Bengals suck. Oh my God. Draft defensive players, get better on your secondary, get a better D-line. Stop. They're about to have another year where the best offense and the worst defense.
Yeah, they needed to go like pretty much
needed to
all
go.
defense this draft, and I still feel like they didn't get the
Save
good
Joe
picks.
Burrow, save Jamar Chase, save them all. They are in the worst situation. Put them anywhere else. Put them anywhere else in their
Yeah, I'm
making
gonna feel
playoffs.
bad if they don't. Well, not really, because I'm a Bills fan, but I maybe slightly feel bad for Burrow if he doesn't make the playoffs again this year, because
And I don't think they will. I really
He's
don't
making
think
the
they will.
playoffs, dude.
I mean, we said
I don't
that
think-
this year.
I don't think
know.
the Bengals are making the playoffs this year.
Hopefully Shamar Stewart could be good though. They needed the help with Sam Hubbard retired. I want to talk about actually that for a second. Sam Hubbard was a free agent this season, I believe.
Yeah.
And instead of signing with another team, he decided to retire as a Cincinnati Bengal. Not a lot of players do that. I think that takes a lot of like strength and courage
Yeah.
to, instead of signing with another team, play for the one team that you loved and retire on top. I think that's really cool. And they also lost Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson's trying to leave.
Yeah, he's
trying.
he wants out.
He wants to leave.
I think
He really
it
wants out
depends
there.
on how they do before the trade deadline when the year starts, but I feel like he could be up for grabs if
I
they're
don't
not
think Trey
doing too well.
Hendrickson
Well,
is
his-
going to be playing in that.
His contract is up next year, so I could see him playing it out until somebody signs
He
it in
could
free
do that
agency.
too.
He'll get a better contract. out of
Now
it.
with the 18th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks selected Gray Zabel, tackle out of North Dakota State. I mean, I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a good pick because they did need offensive line help. They really changed their roster a lot this year, though, so it's like I don't know how they're gonna look.
The
when
only
year
thing that
starts.
I'm going to judge Gray Zabel by is I saw a video of him right after he got drafted, and he was yelling to his family that he wanted the Bush Lights. He said where the Bush Lights at? So just the fact that was his first reaction after getting drafted, him wanting the Bush Lights. I just think the way he talks, he has a very heavy accent. I just could tell that he's gonna be a great O lineman for decades. The next 2-3 decades.
Like Laremy Tunsil.
Hunter's a big vibes guy. He'll just find the player, the team with the best vibes.
Are we missing a paper?
draft's
'Cause
went down a little
we go 18 to 22 here.
Sal.
Dude,
Oh wait, someone needs to pull this up ASAP.
wait, what are we missing?
19,
Hold on, let me.
19,
We gotta do
19,
some-
20, and 21.
Some technical difficulties with our information here. We're missing a few picks.
come on.
Luckily, I picked that up.
Is this Stranger's
This
fault?
is
Probably,
Stranger's.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Our informational gatherer might have messed up a bit here.
We got Emeka Egbuka, a
the-
wide receiver from Ohio State, to the
He
Bucks.
went to the Bucks. Yes.
Yeah.
I did not see them
That
going
was
receiver.
confusing.
They need a defense. They need defense. I mean,
Not only did I not have, I don't even want to say his name. I was calling him Imuka, right? I did not see him going that high. I had him as like the third or fourth best receiver, but let alone the Bucks taking a receiver that high. Felt like I thought they were going to go defense.
I don't know. I think it's an unnecessary pick, but I think it's a
don't
good
understand
pick.
it at all. They
It's a good pick, but it's like
It's a good player. It's a
It's
good
not-
player to a team that doesn't really need him.
They have Mike Evans. They got Chris Godwin. And
Now-
they had a first-round receiver at Jalen McMillan last year. I think
That is true.
I don't understand why.
I don't think he was first round.
Or,
Like,
I didn't mean to say first
Yeah.
round, but in the draft last year.
One thing I will say is there's rumors that they don't think Chris Godwin will be ready next year.
Oh, yeah, 'cause he got
hurt.
injured.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Maybe that's why they went receiver. Who was the 20th?
Jade Barron, cornerback out of Texas, to the Broncos. I think that's a good pick for them. I think I think they had a really good offense this year with rookie quarterback Bo Nix, who I really like. I think that their defense was a little lacking. I think that's why they got absolutely whooped in the playoffs by us last year. But I think it's a good pick. I think they definitely needed help at the cornerback position, and they got it. And I think it was a good pick for them.
Yo, why did you shouldn't stop.
21st pick, Derek
Bro, why
Harmon,
did you just
defensive
still going?
tackle from Oregon,
Bro.
the Steelers.
Well, we need to take a time.
Oh my god. Yo.
I don't really
Bro,
know
shut
anything
up
about
for a
this
second.
guy.
Oh my gosh, yo. What? Oh my goodness. Yo.
I
Technical
thought the Steelers were
difficulties.
going to
We
go
are
Shador.
so sorry.
Really fast.
We apologize.
Going back to the
Yo, why
Broncos
did you
pick.
just keep reading? Yo.
He'll be locked in.
I feel like that's a good pick to pair him up with Patrick Surtain.
Yes.
That's a really good pick. That defense is going to be really good.
It's going to be scary. It's going to be.
You're talking about the
Yeah,
Steelers?
Broncos.
Broncos.
The corner
I
they
think
got.
they're going to really. They're
Pairing him
Oh,
up the
yo,
corner they
19
got.
was right there. Bruh.
But we didn't have 20 or 21. Which 21 was
Derek
Derek
Harmon
Harmon,
from-
defensive tackle out of Oregon, going
Rest
to
in
the
peace to his
Pittsburgh
mother. That was
Steelers.
very sad.
Yeah,
I just feel so
rest
bad.
in peace. That
That was
really,
ter- yeah,
really,
terrible, terrible.
really
You
sucks.
tell her you get drafted and then she just dies like a couple hours later.
I mean, at least he was able to tell her. But
Sad.
yeah, a lot of people thought Shador was gonna go there.
Yeah. I did too. I really thought he was going to go to Pittsburgh.
Who's next?
Yeah, we got
Omarion Hampton, running back out of North
No,
Carolina.
we're on this now. We got it.
Oh, okay.
You good.
Thanks, Evan.
Omarion Hampton to the Chargers.
That wasn't bad. I mean,
It's not
They
a
don't
horrible
need it.
pick, but
They
they don't
just
need
signed
exactly.
Najee Harris.
they
I
did
mean,
sign nice years.
I really see what the Chargers are trying to do since they got Harbaugh now.
And
They
Gus
want to run the ball.
Gus
Gus
the
Edwards
Buzz.
was real good last.
Gus the Buzz.
He's
Gus
getting
Edwards was
old
good.
though, you know.
I guess.
I mean, they want to have a really good 1-2 punch. And I think Najee and what's his name, Hampton.
Marion Hampton.
Yeah.
I don't think he was. I don't think he. Would,
I don't think he
would
was-
have been there if. I think he would have fell out the first round.
Probably.
I feel like they would have been able to trade down and get him,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
definitely cutting it close. Definitely a little bit of a reach, but it's a good pick by them, I
Yeah,
think.
for sure.
Packers for the first time in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's-
drafted a
that's-
wide receiver in the first round.
Matthew Golden,
Yeah.
receiver out of Texas. That stadium went crazy when they drafted him.
This dude like took like a minute to
That
talk.
go Pat go chant is mad
Yeah.
annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
It's annoying.
Go Pat. Yeah, that's not. That, I wanted them to get the TV. That was. I'm not gonna lie, but it was a cool sight to see. Matthew Golden coming out into the fans, the Green Bay fans. I think it was cool. I'm not sure if they really needed it. They got a lot of wide receivers. They don't have.
They
a lot
were
of good
first
wide
in
receivers.
drops last year. I
I know.
saw that statistic.
I don't know how much Matthew Golden is going to help them. I feel like the Packers right now, they just have. I don't know. He hasn't played. a game yet.
Here's something I thought was weird. They haven't drafted a receiver in like 25 years. The draft was finally hosted in Green Bay. They had all their
you
Green Bay
cooking.
fans. They had all their Green Bay fans there. If they didn't go receiver, because Green Bay fans are always very upset every year they don't draft a receiver. If they went someone else in the first round with all those Packers fans there, I feel like there would have been a lot
There would have
of
been a riot.
interesting things said from Packers fans. And perfect time to go receiver with all the Packers fans there. So I feel like, it's more than just the skill of the player at that spot in the draft. I feel like they went because of where they were at also.
For sure. Who you want to announce number 24?
Sure.
Okay. Do you not want to do it?
I don't
Just
care.
just read it.
my
Just
God,
read
The
it.
Vikings, so like Donovan Jackson, Ohio State O-lineman.
Okay.
He's
I think, they definitely.
Jesus.
he was okay.
This is why we can't
No,
keep
I-
this in
Decent
the
time.
I just wanted him to be able to.
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick. The Vikings have committed to protecting their quarterback JJ McCarthy after what did he do? What is
He tore
tear his
his-
ACL or something?
I thought he had, like,
Meniscus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after he tore his meniscus, they've committed to protecting him with this pick. I think JJ McCarthy. I think he'll have a good bounce back season next
You guys
year.
think he'll start? He'll start?
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
Off from the bat.
I don't think
I
there's
feel like that's why they got rid of Sam
Or they
Darnold.
did trade
Yeah.
for Sam Howell actually at day 3 of the draft.
They needed a backup
Yeah.
though. I mean,
I
actually
don't think Sam Howell's
Sam's-
as good as JJ.
No, of course,
No,
no. I think
definitely
JJ McCarthy's the guy, but
He would have been the QB starter
a-
for the Vikings if he didn't get injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Which who knows what would have happened to Sammy
Yeah,
D.
yeah.
If,
He did
Well,
have like
that's
a
a big
career.
what if.
He had
Yeah.
a great
He
season.
had a great season, then a terrible postseason.
And
Throw
no,
the
just the
ball.
ending of the year.
Throw the ball.
Oh yeah, not even yeah.
Week 18 versus the
He
Lions.
just
was-
he started seeing ghosts.
the lights were way too bright for
Yeah.
him.
Good pick by them. They have receivers. They have Aaron Jones at running back. So good. They have a good all-around roster. Next pick. This was
the most
Trade.
questionable pick.
interesting
What was-
thing
What was
here.
the
Houston.
trade? Yeah, they traded with the Texans for the 25th pick in the draft.
Yeah, so Houston sent their pick to New York Giants, and the Giants selected quarterback Jackson
Dart.
out of Ole Miss.
Not Shadir
Now,
Sanders.
Not
This
Shadir
is where things get real interesting in the draft, because people were like Shadir Sanders,
When they-
guaranteed second best quarterback in the draft, guaranteed going first round, guaranteed that those are the only Cam Ward and Shadir Sanders are the only quarterbacks going in the first round. Boom, Jackson Dart gets selected in the first round. Shadir doesn't even get selected in the first round.
Or the second, or the third,
Or
or
the
the
fourth.
fourth.
Yeah.
When I seen that the Giants traded up, I was like almost certain that they
Yeah,
took
I
Shadir.
was-
I was like, oh my goodness, wow, the
I
Giants.
was like,
are
wow,
taking
they did
I was
pretty
like,
good in
wow,
this
that was
draft.
crazy. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I was
And they
like,
still did. They
if
did.
they come out with Shadir Sanders and Abdul Carter, that's a good draft for them. But
Do
Nah.
I think this is a bit of a
That-
reach getting Jackson Dart?
Yes.
Yes.
this ain't it, bro.
Do I think people are hating on him slightly? Yes. But I think he's the third best quarterback.
I'm
in
a
the
Jackson
draft.
Dart
I'll be
supporter.
honest with you.
I like Jackson Dart. I think he can be decent at best in the
Especially
NFL.
with that quarterback room, like the conditioning
He
in
could
that
start.
quarterback room with
We just got another. Daniel
I don't
Jones.
feel like it'd be smart for him to start unless
no, I don't think
he really shows out.
No,
Yeah.
they said Brian Daboll said that right now the day one starter is Russell Wilson.
Okay.
So he's Jackson Dart won't be starting. He'll be backing up for at least the first game. Russell Wilson, they said, will be the starter. Honestly, I'm confused where it really leaves Jameis Winston like in the fold of it.
He's backup.
Because
I mean, Russell
Jameis
Wilson-
Winston is not going to be okay with being the third string backup quarterback.
I don't think
He
I think he's the second string. I think Jackson Dart.
You think Jackson Dart?
I
will be
think
the
he's
third
only.
string
I
and
think
the
this
They'll be
first
close.
year he is
They got a
only
battle, though.
there to develop
to
his
just
first
learn?
year.
Yeah, understandable. Then
You know,
they're
unless
definitely
they
not
like
going to rush him.
something happens like a similar situation with Brock Purdy, he like two quarterbacks get hurt, then he gets put in. But I think he's only there to develop this year.
No, yeah, I feel you.
Moving on to the 26th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons selected James Pierce, defensive end out of Tennessee.
Another
This
trade.
is trades right
Another
there.
trade.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
sorry,
see-
I
I
just
just seen
realized
that.
that. The Rams traded their pick to the Falcons, which is how they got him. Really good pick by them because they also
yeah.
just got another defensive lineman. He is I'll be honest with you. Besides Abdul Carter, he was my favorite defensive end. Watching his tape was like he is a beast.
He looked good.
Yeah, he is a really fast defensive lineman. Can stop the run. He's just good all around. Wanted the Bills to take him, but
He wasn't gonna
you know
fall.
he was. I wanted them to trade up, but things happen. You know, good pick by the Falcons. They're really trying to redo their defense this year. If you want to do the next one.
Me? All right. I also wanted the Bills to take this guy if he was available. I think he could have helped us out. But with the 27th pick, the Ravens selected safety out of Georgia, Malachi Starks.
That's what everyone.
I
pretty
really
much
thought
wanted for the Bills.
that we would pick him. I thought he would fall to us. I was
Now-
mad when he did.
Yes.
You guys wanted to replace DeMar?
No, it's not. This isn't a DeMar This
Yeah.
isn't a DeMar replacement. The thing is with Malachi Starks though, he could play corner too, but his primary position on the Ravens will be safety next to Kyle Hamilton.
Okay, listen. A couple things here. I personally think Malachi Starks is the second best safety in this draft. I think Nick Imanwari,
Yeah.
I think he was a better safety than Starks in terms of like just pure safety. Starks can also play in that linebacker sub package as well. I mean, it's a good pick by the Ravens. They lost a few guys as well this year, but pairing up Starks with
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton is it's a really good
Kyle
duo
Hamilton's
right there.
a beast. That's with oh my goodness, Marlon Humphrey, the cornerback.
Yeah. A lot of those guys are getting older. You know, Marlon
Yeah, that
Humphrey's
is
getting
true.
older. So
But that'll be a good backfield on the defense.
yeah, it's it's gonna
Ravens
be a
just getting scarier
yeah,
and scarier
they are
every
getting
year.
scarier and
And then
scarier.
Yeah, we
flopping
still
in the
beat
playoffs.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still
Yeah, no,
beat
we're
them.
still gonna.
Bro, all because of Mark Andrews, bro. Mark, how did he drop that genuinely?
I don't know.
We're
I mean,
still on this like
That was
9
a
months later.
perfect ball. And
You were
dropped
supposed to beat them.
I mean, Lamar fumbled that game too. Just saying.
Ooh.
it. I mean, yeah, but still,
Just saying.
for the tie, to tie the game up
Yeah,
for that 2-point
but
conversion.
would you have needed that if you know?
Probably not, to be honest.
Yeah. Going to the 28th overall pick, the Detroit Lions selected defensive tackle Tyleek Williams. I thought he was of Ohio State, by the way. Really solid defensive tackle. I mean,
They needed
yeah,
they need
they
defense.
needed it.
They
A
had
lot
a
of
good
injuries
defense.
last
They
year.
Oh,
just
so
couldn't
many
stay
injuries.
Dude.
healthy.
Yeah,
If they were healthy, they could have won.
like
the
that
They absolutely
team
would've won the Super Bowl.
started off like
They were unbelievable.
one
yeah,
of the
it
best
was-
teams I've ever seen in a
Aiden
while.
Hutchinson, amazing.
He
year.
still ended up being the team leader in sacks at the end of the year. And it
Yeah,
was-
which is terrible.
Yeah.
He played 5 games.
yeah.
That's like
Fuck.
Wemby's stat. He was
Like
like,
every game that went on with Detroit, you just seen them falling apart, like even
Yeah.
more and more and more. And then by the time they got to the playoffs, it was just over with.
Yeah.
You can do the next one.
All right. With the number 29th pick, I like this pick for the Commanders. A lot of these teams that have the young quarterbacks have committed to protecting that quarterback. With the pick, they selected Josh Connerly out of Oregon. Like I said, I like the pick. Protecting Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, they definitely needed that help because Jaden Daniels, he's very physical with the way
Yeah.
that he plays.
They also
Very
they
much.
traded for Laramie Tunsil from the Texans.
Oh yeah, that's a really
Yeah,
good.
the
trade
Commanders
there.
have had a great offseason. They got Debo Samuel to Laramie Tunsil, Javon Kinlaw on the D line, I believe.
I could see them going to the. I see them going to the NFC Championship
Chip
Again?
again.
I see them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I see them.
I don't
piggybacking.
know. I keep saying this. This might be a bit of a reach. This reminds me of the Texans last year, though.
See,
You're
A
saying
little
he's gonna have
bit.
a sophomore slump?
We talked
No,
about this
listen,
on
listen.
our first episode.
Maybe not necessarily. Okay, maybe he doesn't have a sophomore slump, but like the way, like when you get a rookie quarterback and you hit with them, you have 4 years before you have to pay that quarterback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you try to spend all your money you can
That's what the
by getting great players like this that you can't get when you have Mahomes and
that's what the
Allen, you know?
49ers were doing back when Brock Purdy was on
Yeah.
his rookie contract.
And now
but
they have
now,
to pay him.
exactly, and now you're seeing how
So-
they're cutting people. They can't
That's
pay
why I
everyone.
say that's why they remind me of the Texans last year. Do I think Daniels will have a sophomore slump? Not as bad as Stroud, but I do think he's not going to improve as much as people think he's going to.
I think Stroud is cooked. The
Yes,
Texans
Stroud.
have done.
They're
There's
just-
why would you get rid of Laramie Tunsil? They got rid of several other starting. They've
Diggs.
gotten rid of like these two other starting offensive linemen. They are. I hope they got some good backup linemen.
They went from surprised contenders to Super Bowl contenders to, like, are they even going to win the division now?
Like their offensive line was already not good last year,
Yeah.
and they've gotten rid of people, and so now
their
it's gotten
best
worse.
offensive lineman.
And now and I don't believe they've done much to address the issue. So I'm worried for Stroud's health next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking quite a few sacks next year.
Who do you think will win the division if it's not the Texans? Because I mean
Jags.
that whole division is just
Yeah,
terrible.
Jags.
The Jags are.
I could see the
interesting.
Titans. I could see the Titans making a stretch. I could see them going
Maybe
No,
close,
not
but,
first.
like,
worst to first.
I low-key think Cam Ward won't have like a great.
He's not gonna have the best season.
Yeah.
No, I think that they're.
I that's a mix up for me because I look at like all three teams like very similar because like if Anthony Richardson can be what we thought he was going to be with pairing up with Jonathan Taylor and like that solid defense, solid weapons, you know, good offensive line, you know, I feel like they could be a contender to win the division. So now with the 30th overall pick, the Buffalo Bills selected Maxwell Harringston out of Kentucky, corner out of Kentucky. Fastest corner in the draft. I was
like-
fastest player in the entire combine. They said.
Really?
From
Was he?
the whole weekend, he was the fastest.
I thought he was
What was
like,
his time?
I know he was
Four-
one of the
four-
fastest.
4.2?
He ran a 4.28 or 9, I believe.
Wow.
He was
Yeah.
the fastest player at the entire
Wow.
combine during the weekend.
That
So-
is definitely good for us.
You guys should have kept carrying him, to be honest, man. I loved his performance in the AFC Championship. Man.
up, bro.
It was just so great.
Really good. Really liked this pick because the Bills thought he was actually going to go sooner. and they thought he fell to him. He has really good coverage skills, really good ball skills, really fast, obviously.
And you know,
I mean,
we were talking
say
about-
what you're gonna say. Hold on.
The only thing with him is the Bills worry about his run support, but the only thing, the good thing with him is he's willing to tackle. Like, he doesn't care about putting his body on the line.
which is a blessing and a curse.
It can be.
You know.
Maybe he gets his weight up a little bit, which he has said he's been doing a little bit. But he's not like small as a corner.
I mean,
but
he is 5'11". He's
5'11". He's 191. You know. So it's not like a normal size of a corner, but it's not necessarily small either. I actually thought we were gonna get Will Johnson, who was a projected top 15 pick. You know.
I had no idea he had an injury before leading him.
Yeah, but I still thought at the end of the first round was still a good place for him, and he didn't even get picked till the second, or maybe the third.
In my opinion, though, the Bills would have never taken a chance on a guy that they knew had an injury like that. Because if it ended up bad, that would have been a waste of a first round pick.
They also probably I think they really liked the interview with Harrington because even when they got Coleman last year, they really liked the interview with him.
I mean,
you can really tell what they're trying to do with personality and
yeah,
people.
I love his vibe.
As the resident, I was about to say that, as the resident vibe guy, I think the vibes were immaculate. I don't know if y'all seen, but leading up to it, and when Max Harrison was in the draft room, he was dapping up every single
player that came
player.
out. He was high-fiving them, congratulating them.
Actually, hold up, beef for a second with Abdul Carter. That's the only player that ignored bro's dap up. So Abdul Carter could go somewhere with that.
Negative.
He ignored Max Harrison. But besides that, the vibes on Max Harrison are great. I like bro's energy a lot. I didn't know much about him, leading up to the draft, but
I just knew he was fast. I didn't watch his tape or anything.
Yeah, I've looked at his tape, now, and I really like what I've seen. I'm really excited for the draft. I really like the Bills' entire draft class, actually.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it in a little bit after we finish up.
After the first round. Yeah. This pick pains me, man.
He's really good.
The 31st overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles selected Jahad Campbell, Alabama, linebacker out of Alabama. Why are we letting the Eagles just get top 15 players all the time?
How are we trading up one spot?
Yeah, no, they traded with the Chiefs for one spot.
Yeah, that too. But why, every year it seems like the Eagles in the first round, get a player that wasn't supposed to go to them.
Eagles could go back-to-back this year. They look scary.
Yeah, because Cooper DeJean, one of the best corners last year, second round. Quentin Mitchell, one of the best corners, fell to them whenever they picked. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, all these guys, and now they got this linebacker who's probably, he's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's real good.
So they're going to be scary. They lose guys and they just replace them instantly. It seems like.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. I also did not like this pick from a Bills standpoint. I think that the Chiefs needed offensive line help. They took offensive lineman Josh Simmons, Ohio State, with the last pick of the first round. I really didn't like this pick.
It feels unnecessary for them. Honestly.
No, the Chiefs made their line worse. Who did they trade?
They got
just
rid
traded
of Joe Thuney, which is a guard.
Yeah.
But Joe Thuney was playing the tackle too last season. They had him because their offensive line was mad.
They needed
he was
two
playing
tackles.
Flexible. Yeah, he was playing tackle last season too. So I think they needed the offensive line help. I didn't like the pick. I wish we could get to Patrick Mahomes, but
You just wish they forfeited their pick, so they just couldn't draft anybody.
Yeah.
Nah, I thought they should have went kicker, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I say
That's
they need help with punting. It's a.
Honestly, Shadir Sanders could have been a perfect pick for them right there. 32nd.
I think the Patrick Mahomes experiment is over. It hasn't worked out.
Get rid of him.
Money Mitch, man.
He's done.
Just release Mahomes, make him a free agent.
Dude,
Honestly.
Dude, could you imagine the Chiefs?
I think he
if they
should
would've
just
taken
retire
Trubisky?
early.
Just imagine if they would have taken Trubisky.
Wow.
Who knows what would have happened? Maybe Cleveland. Maybe Chicago would have.
They would have won 7
Bears
Super
would have-
Bowls. They would have been the best dynasty in the league.
All right.
Josh Allen probably could have had a ring by now.
He probably would have. At least one.
Honestly.
At least one.
Okay,
Yeah.
back. All right, that's the end
That's
of
the
the first round.
first
That's the end of the
Yeah,
first
that's
round.
the end of the first round.
Now
I don't think we're gonna talk about any of
Should we
their.
There's a couple guys.
If we want to talk about specific people, we can.
All right.
Will Johnson.
I want to talk about a couple of the quarterbacks that went. I want to talk about this dude right here. Hold up. The dude that the Buffalo Bills selected in the 3rd round with pick 72.
Landon Jackson.
I love this pick.
Yeah.
He is a steal in the 3rd round.
They was mocking him to go to the Bills in the 1st round. So the fact that they got that Landon Jackson in the 3rd round was amazing. I believe he had like one of the best vertical jumps in the whole league.
He was surprised. He's 6'6", like 250
tall,
or something like
he's
that.
big.
And he is surprisingly fast at that. He's like a 4.5 or something like that, which is like
40-inch vertical.
That is crazy. He does.
Is he like the bald dude?
I don't know if
that's alopecia.
Yeah.
He's got alopecia.
Have you guys watched the old X-Men movie with the old Deadpool? Yeah, that's
Crazy.
That's
crazy.
Listen,
That's crazy.
I seen that.
Clown him right now.
I've seen 2 pictures of them next to each other. I'm like, that's kind of.
That's so
mean.
messed up.
All respect.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was
respect.
Josh
I love
Dobbs
you.
for a second when I
I
saw the
respect
picture.
that.
I thought it was Josh Dobbs.
That's wicked.
This is a funny comparison. All respect, though.
He's okay. I mean, there is a clip of him like doing like drills and he kind of just like slaps the dude.
Those were the old
Yeah, no, he got way better though. When he was
What are we
at the
doing?
combine, he did way better.
All right, so do we want to? Oh yeah, Will Johnson. Let's talk about him.
Let's
really
talk
fast.
about. Yeah, he went to the Cardinals. Oh, never mind. Hold up.
Hold on.
Oh, we have a
Do
question
you think
here.
Romeo Doubs is not a factor after adding 2 wide receivers in the draft?
Okay, all right, buddy. Come on now. Do I think Romeo Doubs is a factor? I think that Romeo Doubs, at best, is a wide receiver too. How? So I think that the Packers are loaded with wide receiver 2s. They got Christian Watson.
Jaden
They got
Reed.
Jaden. That is full of wide receiver 2s and 3s. I think that Matthew Golden could really help, but I don't know if he like that.
Ah man, the only one I've seen that has potential other than Golden that has wide receiver 1 potential was Reed.
Really?
Yeah.
Him most?
Christian Watson has been there for a few years now.
He had like a little downfall last year.
They've all been
He
there
had
for like 2-3 years.
wasn't
now, I
the
think.
best.
Yeah, but like out of everyone I've watched, like I don't know,
pretty
Reed's I feel like the best receiver they have.
All right.
Romeo,
Yeah, that was a question from the chat. If you have any more
type 'em out in
questions,
the
type
chat
in the
if you got any
chat. Let us know.
questions.
Yeah.
We'll get to them as soon as we
My
can.
bad for
Thank
being
you
so
for.
defensive. I didn't mean that for real.
As somebody who had Romeo Doubs in fantasy, I agree with you.
Yeah,
No, I
he's-
think Romeo Doubs, he's good, but like I just don't. He's not like the future great.
No, he's
like,
not
wide
there. He's
receiver.
the
definitely
only
not
good
their
thing
wide
going
receiver
with
one.
him is he's pretty young, right? So
Yeah, I mean the whole Packers. I think they had like one of the youngest. teams.
Yeah, they're a
is
really
the
young
youngest.
team.
But
And with
Romeo Doubs.
No, I mean I like him. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know. Wide receiver 3 for me.
I think Romeo Doubs isn't like he's not going to be.
No,
I think I agree with what they said.
Romeo
He's
Doubs
not
is an
gonna be-
X factor. That's fun. That
I
was a
said
real
he's-
funny one. That was a
I
comment.
don't
he
think
just
he's
said
gonna
a
be-
factor. All right, let's not.
I thought he
Don't
said
go
X
diss.
factor.
Don't
I
go
thought he said
dissing our
X
chat,
factor.
dude.
It was a good question, but
No, it
I
was
don't
It
think
was a good question.
I don't think he's going to be as much as a
talk
factor
about
as
Oh yeah.
with the new receivers they're getting this year. So
After Jackson Dart, Tyler Show was drafted by the Saints.
that's
Shadur Sanders
First
still on
time-
the board.
The first time the Saints have drafted a quarterback in the first 2 rounds in like 35 years or something.
And
Something
you picked
insane.
Tyler Show. There's a clip of him at the combine where he
Of
just
him,
like
he threw it
completely
straight into
whips.
the dirt.
He whips his thing. You picked that dude over Shadur Sanders.
Over any other quarterback.
Over any other QB. There was
I would have taken
multiple-
Will Howard over him.
or at least a guy that has potential like Jalen
Yeah.
Milroe,
Jalen
which is
Milroe.
another quarterback that went before Shadur.
Jalen Milroe, he went to
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Oh,
Which honestly, I like that
It's
pick.
okay.
I like him as a quarterback. I like him.
Jalen Milroe is
but
a
I
guy
don't-
that needs to sit a couple years.
Yeah.
He's like he needs to learn before he even gets put in. And I feel like in Seattle they got Sam Darnold now, so by the time Sam Darnold's contract is up, or maybe even before that, I think he might be ready to be a starter.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
I think it could be sooner. I think like late in the year he could start.
He could, yeah.
I think late in the year.
Oh,
if they really,
we gotta talk about the.
Because like they,
You know,
the Seahawks,
hold up, where did that?
they're good at developing quarterbacks. They're good. I like Geno
Didn't he
Smith
get drafted
a
in the
lot.
third?
I thought he was super underrated. And I think if they spend like time actually, developing Jalen Milroe, that they could have like a good starter going into next season or towards the end of this season.
Oh, right there.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Sam Darnold is a starting quarterback for a whole season. I don't think
I mean, maybe just take him out week 18, you know?
Yeah, I think earlier than that. I think
We'll see. We'll see how he does. We'll see.
it depends. It just
Shout
depends
out
on
Cooper
where they
Kupp.
are in like terms of the playoffs or whatever. Yeah, Cooper.
Yo, I forgot-
Seahawks got
man.
they were stacked.
Wide receiver. Who are the wide receivers, bro?
Cooper Kupp, bro.
And
Oh, they did
JSN.
get Cooper Kupp.
JSN,
Cooper
yeah.
Kupp and Jackson Smith. Like those are two. That's a.
It's a solid, you know.
Is
If
that not-
Cooper Kupp can, you know,
Yeah.
if Cooper
JSN's
Kupp can
pretty
stay
good.
healthy.
Yeah, like I think those are two great receivers. I don't know
another
what
question
you're
coming
talking
in.
about, Sal.
okay.
We got another question here from the chat. Does Travis Hunter get wide receiver 1 or DB1 on the Jags? We talked about this a little earlier.
I think
but they're saying that they're going to let him play both.
No,
He's
here's-
DB1 for sure. I don't think.
DB1 100%.
No.
Wide receiver 2 at best.
You're tripping.
Yes.
Wait, like, I'm-
Brian Thomas Jr.
Wait, on
had
the- on the
almost
team or, like,
1,300 yards last year.
But yeah, he's gonna be DB1.
You're tripping.
Can anyone?
Did we not? I thought we agreed that he was better as a wide receiver. And
Dude,
that was
no.
like,
We agree that he's better.
Yeah,
as a
okay.
wide
Going-
receiver.
no way.
Going
Okay,
into
alright.
this year,
Okay, I think yes, this
Brian
year.
Thomas Jr.
No,
is
I'm
on
not
the
saying.
team.
Okay, yes, no, I'm not. Yes, he's wide. Brian Thomas Jr. is wide receiver 1. Okay.
There we go.
Oh,
So there you
no,
go.
he's not DB1 either. He's not DB1 either.
He is
Who's the best corner on the team?
Name corner one. Name
Name
the
one
other corners.
corner.
Name
Name one corner.
Maybe don't type in the
Case
chat because it
closed.
seems
Case
that every time
closed.
somebody says something in the chat, Hunter freaks out.
He can't name another corner.
I know. I'm on life. I know they got another corner. Yo, I'm on the spot. Yo, I know.
Jalen Ramsey's not there anymore,
I
buddy.
know this. Oh my goodness! Stop! I'm on life. I know they got another corner. Yo, I'm
No, they don't.
bro. I'm on life. Yo, don't. Yo, I don't even got service.
They have no good corners. They have no good corners.
Yo, you're tripping.
Travis Hunter is corner 1 on that team.
Yo, Strider, you ain't take a
He can be wide receiver 2. Could he be wide receiver 1? Yes. Do I think he will be? Not going into this year.
Thank you for the question. Thank you for the question in the
Yes.
chat.
Pull it up.
I don't know what these guys are getting into.
I was
we
gonna
pulled
say
up the depth
ask less
chart.
divisive questions, but Hunter's just gonna get mad at everything.
Hunter's very upset right now.
No, bro. Why does bro not have
Luckily,
Oh,
he
there
wasn't
you
a part of the first episode when we talked about Shadur, because who knows what he would have
Tyson
said
Campbell!
there.
Tyson Campbell! Thank you!
Tyson
Tyson
Campbell.
Campbell! No, don't do that. Tyson Campbell, don't disrespect
He's not
Tyson
good.
Campbell.
Who?
Don't disrespect
He's
bro.
not
Stop
good.
playing with your mic.
Y'all are tripping.
Sorry, excuse me. Who?
Y'all are tripping, bro. Y'all are tripping.
Tyson Whoville?
Y'all are tripping.
Tyson Whoville, bro? What are we doing?
Y'all are tripping. Y'all are
I mean,
tripping.
come on.
Let's see this other comment.
We got another-
You Billy Busters.
We
have
got
to
another
say around
comment,
here.
and then we're gonna go into the. We're gonna
Any
start to
other
wrap things up.
topics
I
we have
don't
to
know. I
talk
got a
about?
little bit off track. Because all you Billy Busters are just.
All right, we got another question here.
Which QB will have the most successful rookie year and more successful career?
I feel like that's 2 different answers in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What was that? Hold on. What was
Which
that
QB will have the
question?
most successful rookie year and
More successful
and
career.
which
Years
one?
and career.
Most successful rookie year this year, Cam Ward.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
I
don't think
honestly.
any
he is probably guaranteed. Right now, I think he's probably the only rookie quarterback that's got a starting
Yeah, I
role.
don't think any other.
Most successful career. That could.
Give me
be-
Jackson Dart.
That's not bad. That was.
I
was
like that.
thinking him.
I think Jackson
It
Dart
could be
is super
Dart.
underrated.
If Jalen, this is
I
a
was-
bit of a
yes,
reach, bit of
come
a
on.
reach.
Yeah.
But Jalen
Jalen
Milroe,
Milroe.
Jalen
come
Milroe
on.
is. I was.
if
Yeah.
he can develop
If it's
into
not-
something great, he can have a better
Yeah.
career than all of these
He
guys.
could be the. In my opinion, he really.
Not mentioning Shadur Sanders' name though, you know, it's a
there
little
is 5.
disrespectful.
There are
but
5
He-
quarterbacks
there's
in that
5
room.
He could. I think he beat. I don't. Let's be real. He should have. Dylan Gabriel should not have been drafted before Shadur Sanders.
Oh, no.
The fact that they
They're
ended up
teammates
on the
now.
same team. Yo, if the Browns
Know
were
what
really
I
smart,
just-
they could have taken Travis
know what
Hunter
I'm
and
thinking
had
about
Shadur
actually?
Sanders. Like they
Shadur
could've-
Sanders, who was projected to be in the first round, was not in the green room.
Yeah.
If you think about that, I wonder why he was
There's
not
only
in the green
there's
room.
only
and-
there
but-
was only
but
17 out of 32.
It was his choice to not be there,
Yeah. I
right?
know.
And he chose to be at home, and it just so happened that he didn't get selected in the first round either.
Yeah.
I just felt, that's a little bit weird. So
Bro had the feeling.
I say the Browns select.
Okay. Tyler Shuck or Dylan Gabriel?
I
the
think
thing
Dylan
with
Gabriel.
Tyler is he's like almost 27
He's-
already.
I
He's
think
like
he's
he's
26.
26.
He's old.
He's
He's gonna have like a Stenson Bennett career.
yeah,
He's not
he's
gonna
gonna
do
be
it.
retiring in like 4 or 5 years already. You know.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm not gonna lie though. I don't think.
As
either
of right now, Tyler probably is better. Right now, as we speak.
Tyler has a chance if Derek Carr has his
I think
shoulder
he's
injury,
gonna start.
Tyler can start.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
he's
looking
gonna
for-
start. I don't think he'll start at the beginning of the season, but I think he'll start like week 4 or 5.
Who else is gonna start? They don't. Who gonna start at quarterback?
Spencer Rattler, bro.
Yeah, Spencer
They're
Bro,
Rattler.
it's not gonna be Spencer.
They're not putting Spencer Rattler back on.
Bro,
after last
he is
season.
so like.
Yeah. How
Jesus.
many? I think he started like 1 or 2 games last season, and it was not it.
Yo, what happened with the Saints last year, bro? They were 2-0. They had like the best offense.
Yeah,
ever.
we were like, yo, watch out for the Saints.
then
They
they
put
lost,
like
like, 7 in a
40
row.
plus points in 2
They
games
was
now.
looking dangerous.
You know?
They smoked the Cowboys. Okay.
That was just crazy. Bro. That's a crazy.
All right, I'm not talking. Why was that so bad?
Dylan Gabriel, because he's younger though, he
Okay, we
could
got-
be. He could
We got
be
one more
better.
question.
than
We
Yeah,
got a
another-
very active chat today.
Oh, okay. Thank y'all for commenting.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Would it have been better for Shadur Sanders to get drafted or to go undrafted? Honestly, I think.
Well, yeah, okay.
Oh, Shiloh.
This dude.
This guy, he wrote the wrong thing. Shiloh Sanders.
We'll talk about both.
So there's a reason why. Okay,
Start with Shadur.
so we'll start with Shadur. We will. Okay. We'll start with Shadur Sanders. So, no, he should not have went undrafted. He has too much talent to
Did
go
it say
undrafted.
should he have, or would it have
It
been
was,
better?
it was should he have gone undrafted, and
I thought it said
Would it
would
be
he have
better?
been
Would it
okay,
have been
yeah, it might
better
have been
for
the
him
other
to go
way around, yeah.
undrafted?
Would it have been? No, here's the thing.
no,
No, Shadur, no. He had to
No.
like.
no.
Make
He
sure-
shouldn't. He shouldn't have been. He should have been in the first 3 rounds. He should.
There was quarterbacks that have way worse,
Yeah.
everything than him that have been drafted. So I don't even know why that would even be considered.
With Shiloh though, he.
Yes.
Maybe.
Undrafted, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
undrafted
know.
makes-
Maybe. Okay.
The only other team I could have seen is like.
Maybe he could have been taken late rounds,
Yeah.
just as like, because you take anyone with your late round pick. But I don't think he did enough to get drafted, which is why he went undrafted.
I think both of their careers would be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think the
I don't think Deion Sanders is
You guys
happy
think
that he went
that
to the Browns.
Shiloh Sanders is gonna get drafted, or do you think he's gonna get?
He got
got
some
signed.
of
went to the
some of the
Bucs.
Bucks.
He did. He did. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that. What he
Did we
plays
not have
corner, right?
Safety.
Safety.
I thought.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have
no.
any more questions?
No.
More questions?
One last
more
question.
One last question.
We're gonna wrap it
One
up.
more
last-
question.
One more question,
before
we're gonna
we
wrap
Oh,
it
we
up.
got
show.
Jake. Is this Jay Corsini's question? Okay. Oh
Okay.
gosh.
Oh Lord.
One
I don't
thing
like
I
this.
will like to
I don't
say
like
is,
the way this is going.
thank you for being a very active chat
Yeah,
today.
this is a
We love these questions.
W show.
Gives us
today.
more to talk about
Yeah,
and
thank y'all.
gives you guys
We
more
appreciate y'all.
entertainment,
Thank y'all
you
for
know.
tuning in to Triple
Some
S.
people think
All
Campbell's
right.
a good corner.
Final question. What do we got?
Why is Spencer Rattler better than Derek Carr?
Who said that?
Because
Yeah, I don't believe any of us. I don't believe any of us said
Who
those.
said this?
So this
All
is
right,
two
Christian.
answers. Two answers. One, technically right now, because Derek Carr is hurt, you could say Spencer Rattler is better than him.
I don't think
But
Derek
Derek
Carr.
Carr
in his-
I think his injury
Derek,
is fake.
yeah, he's fake.
Really?
I think he's fake.
You think so?
Yes.
Derek,
What's this guy doing?
Derek Carr in his prime was actually a solid quarterback. So
Bro doesn't even watch football.
Derek Carr is not better than Spencer Rattler. I don't think.
He's
really
just
at
trying to
all.
rage
No,
bait
I
us.
Yeah, really. He's just rage baiting right now.
Whatever.
Yeah,
That's not. We're not gonna. No, don't take the bait, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
All
it
right,
for today
so
for us.
I think that's it.
That's it for this episode of Triple SL. Tune in to the next episode of Triple SL when we do one. Thank you
y'all
guys
for
for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment, and
Thank
see you in
for
the
being
next
chat.
one.
We'll be
good
back
day.
later this
See
week.
ya.